But I have another little fun thing. So I love walking. And as I'm walking in the desert, so I have to paint this picture for everyone.
All right.
Where I live is in the middle of nowhere, okay? And I go for 6-8 mile walk every day just to kind of unwind. And as I'm walking up this little like canal road, the water in the canal only gets released like in the summertime to let the overflow up north. So it's about a mile straight up this little frontage road. And I've been walking this thing for 2.5, 3 years, every day religiously. And I look over in the canal, and it looked like a tibia bone off on the side. And I'm thinking, nah, maybe one of these little wild kids around the neighborhood, was messing in their parents' Halloween props and kind of just threw it out there. They get out there, shoot guns, drink, whatever they do as teenagers.
Right.
So I kept going. And then I start thinking, I get up to my little rock, and I'm like, this is not sitting in my mind so well. And I'm thinking, what if that was a real human bone? Because you always see this on like the crime shows that I watch.
Very true.
I get up there, I call my wife, and I'm like, yeah, I think there's a human bone in the canal.
Hang on. You seen the bone, and the first thought was, let me call my wife and tell her I seen the bone?
Yeah, because if I put my fingerprints on it, I could be going down for a crime I didn't commit.
It wasn't to call 911?
Nah.
Okay.
No.
All right.
It never crossed my mind. Okay.
All right.
So on my way back down, I jumped down in the canal that's dried up, and I call her, and I said, hey, this is real. I kicked it with my foot, and I thought, it's heavy. It looked like it'd been like weathered by the sun, and this canal had been dry for weeks, and I know it wasn't washed down from anywhere. So I kicked it. I called her, and she says, oh, call the non-emergency. So
smart lady.
I proceeded to call like the non-emergency, and the guy said, hey, would you mind waiting there? So I did. I'm looking like this. So you have a creepy, bald-looking white dude. For those of you that cannot see, I'm standing in this really ritzy, yuppie neighborhood off in the desert, staring off, looking at the houses down where this bone was found. And the non-emergency dispatch guy is like, would you mind waiting there? And everyone's looking at me, and I'm like, oh, really self-conscious about they're going to call the law on me because I look like I was just completely up to hoo-ha.
Hang on. For those that are not from Tennessee, that would be the police.
Yes.
The law equals the police.
Yes, the man. So I'm standing there like another hour and a half. It's getting cold, and the police department, I can't say the police department division that was coming up there, but I stood there and waited. The lady goes, well, it's not my jurisdiction. I can't do it. So we walk like almost a mile up to this place, and she's like, I know in her mind, she's like, I'm walking out with this bald-headed weirdo up in the desert. She has her hand on her gun. I could tell she's nervous. She's a little bitty short little girl.
Well, I would be nervous.
Yeah, so I'm thinking,
dark, or getting dark.
Common sense, you're like, I know she's feeling really awkward.
Right.
So we get up there. She looks. She goes, in my opinion, it's a human bone. Long story short, another division came, and about 4 hours into this, I just happened to kind of cruise back up. I've been released. They're doing their little anthropologist or whatever the bone people are, the crime scene units up there. I get up and talk to them. They said, oh, in our opinion, it looks like an animal. And I'm thinking, if this is like a coyote bone or anything,
coyote?
I want to move because it was completely huge, and it would like carry a full-grown man out. So I go back the next day, and the spot where this human bone, it was moved, and they had dug like a 2-foot perimeter around it and removed the bone. Nothing was ever said.
The animal bone.
Yeah. It was a human bone.
Yeah.
So America, I think I may have found Jimmy Hoffa, but the town that I live in did not want to bring scrutiny upon my neighborhood because they would scare everyone. So that was my excitement right there. It was cool. I'd never seen anything like that before, and that was my excitement. I don't know if that's exciting to you guys, but it was to me.
I mean, that's a little freaky. I'm just saying.
Oh, it was. It was even funnier because during the time of waiting, I love talking to everybody. And this young couple, I mean, when you're walking and holding hands, it's like, I know you're newlyweds. Okay.
That's not true.
You can't walk and get exercise by holding hands. You have to move.
I have been married for 30 years, and I still hold my husband's hand when we walk.
My wife would not hold my hand walking up like 3 or 4 miles one way. It was like the total.
You're busy
I wonder why.
bones.
And you could tell they're newlyweds, and I said, hey, would you happen to know what a human bone looks like? And they're kind of looking at me like, you are such a creeper. But to me, it was refreshing because I was just trying to have general conversation and warn them.
Did they come up and look at it?
They did. I kind of forced them because I was just like, hey, right here, look. They had nothing they wanted to do with me. Being bald out in the middle of the desert.
They walked with the bald man to...
Yeah, look at the bone. I was trying to test their knowledge. And you could tell their walk was kind of like gradual up the hill. And as they got out of sight, I saw that their steps are a little bit swifter.
I don't blame them.
So that was my excitement for the week.
Wow, that is quite the excitement.
Hopefully I can find the rest of it and solve the mystery of America.
Oh, thank you for watching that clip. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to see more clips like that, please click here.
Or if you'd like to check out a full episode, click here.
And don't forget to subscribe to us on
YouTube.